Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Cinema Smackdown. And the road to WrestleMania just keeps heating up. More competitors have qualified for the Elimination Chamber matches in Perth, Australia, so we'll touch on that in a moment. Also, is Bob Marley one of the best movies Paramount has put out? More on that later on, but first, we gotta talk about what is an absolute trash fire. Something that just isn't worth the watch at all. Madam Web. Honestly, there is not a lot of good things I could say about this movie. Whatever the budget was a waste of money. I would have actually taken a third Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs from Sony rather than another Marvel movie at this point, because I feel like since we'll say Venom Let There Be Carnage was probably their last best Marvel movie in my opinion. But other than that, anything else they try to do for the Spider-Verse just doesn't work at all. And what's funny about this is because someone said that compared to Morbius, which is another bad Marvel movie that Sony made, they said that Madam Web makes Morbius look like the Dark Knight. And that has to be one of the funniest reviews I have ever seen, because that is bad. Now, don't get mad, but I haven't seen the Christopher Nolan trilogy, but I've heard all great things about it. But saying that in a comparison just makes the movie seem like it's not worth anything. And that is the one review that has been rolling in my mind ever since I've seen it. I wouldn't spend the money. I wouldn't make the time for it. I just wouldn't at all. Bottom line, Madam Web is probably the single worst Marvel movie Sony has ever made. Moving on. Now, Bob Marley, on the other hand, has to be one of, if not the best performance I have ever seen from Kingsley Benadir. Now, you may know him as one of the Kens from the Barbie movie, or Gravik from Secret Invasion. But man, he gave it everything, including the kitchen sink, in this performance. And knowing that Bob Marley's son was helping produce this movie makes the connection to the actual story all that more authentic. And Kingsley just adds passion, energy into this film. And if I were to put on my list for movie of the month for January, I would have Mean Girls. February would be Bob Marley, without a shadow of a doubt. Easily one of the best things I've seen from Paramount. And if they continue on this roll of momentum, Mean Girls was a success. I expect great things for Bob Marley in theaters. We got Knuckles coming out in April on Paramount Plus. Sonic coming out in December. Paramount is on a roll, and I hope they keep this momentum going with whatever projects they have coming up in the future. I cannot wait. Bob Marley is a must-watch for anybody who even just has heard the name and you want to learn more about his story and his fame. Definitely go check out this movie. It is worth the money. It is worth making the time for. Worth the watch. Go out and see Bob Marley, One Love. Switching gears over to WWE, we have more things set on the schedule and on the card for Elimination Chamber in Perth. Now, over the past couple of weeks, we have been seeing lots of qualifying matches for the Elimination Chamber. And here is what we have so far. The men's chamber match is officially set. And in this match, the winner will earn the right to face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. The competitors are LA Knight, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, and Kevin Owens. All 6 of those men will be fighting inside the chamber for the right to challenge Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Now, over on the women's side, we are just about there with the complete field of competitors. So far, we have Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton. And here is why I think everybody should be watching Tiffany Stratton. I have seen her from start to finish in NXT, and she is an absolute star. She has an incredible athletic ability, gymnastics background. It translates extremely well into the ring, and she was only on Smackdown for 2 weeks, and she's already going into her first premium live event. Not only that, but the winner of this chamber match earns the right to face Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. Just imagine. Now, I know Becky Lynch is the favorite going into the chamber and more likely the pick to win. But for Tiffany Stratton, this is a major deal. And they recognize the talent that she has. And I am extremely happy for her. Tiffany's going to have to soak in this moment. Not only is it your first premium live event, but it's your first premium live event on the main roster outside of the country. Only on SmackDown for a few weeks and you're already having to go out to Australia to fight in the chamber. That says a lot about what they see in you talent-wise. If you don't believe Tiffany Stratton is going places in the WWE, you better hop on that train right now, because soon enough you are going to realize that you were wrong for doubting Tiffany Stratton and are just going to be along for this incredible ride that she's going to be on the main roster. But that's the chamber matches. Now, the tag team titles are on the line as Finn Balor and Damian Priest of the Judgment Day will be defending their titles against Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And they had a potential match of the year contender against DIY a few weeks back on SmackDown to earn the right to face Judgment Day in Perth at Elimination Chamber. Now, as much as I wanted DIY to win because they are my favorite tag team ever, I'm happy to see that two-thirds of British Strong Style are going to Perth to fight for the right to be tag team champions. Do I think they will win? I don't know. But it's going to be one hell of a match. And as we also know, Rhea Ripley will be defending the Women's World Championship against Nia Jax on the last stop to WrestleMania. Now, Nia Jax is not going to win. I'm just going to say that right now. Mommy's always on top. We've been over this thing over and over and over again. No one right now can stop the wave of momentum that Rhea Ripley has been on. Ever since she won the Royal Rumble last year, she's been on a meteoric rise. And she continues to be one of the biggest stars in WWE right now. Now, the last thing we have for Elimination Chamber is actually very interesting, but I'm also glad it's happening. Not only is Rhea Ripley the only star from Australia, but we also have Grayson Waller, who will be hosting his talk show, The Grayson Waller Effect, with guests Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Now, we all know that Cody Rhodes has already chosen Roman Reigns to be his opponent at WrestleMania since he won the Royal Rumble. But Seth has continuously been pleading his case with Cody Rhodes, but now that The Rock has gotten involved, and it looks like we're building to what could be the biggest tag team match of the 21st century. Say what you will about that, that's my take on it. I am very interested to what Rollins and Rhodes have to say on the Grayson Waller effect, especially since this past Monday, Rollins told Cody that he will be his shield against the Bloodline. Now, yes, they have feuded back and forth in incredible matches from WrestleMania, at Hell in a Cell. Just an incredible saga between those men. And there is an immense amount of respect between Rhodes and Rollins. So, I have no idea what's going to happen with them on the Grayson Waller effect, but I cannot wait to find out. This all is happening live. I think it was today, the 18th. So that's this Saturday. Yeah. This Saturday is Elimination Chamber. Man, we're already in Elimination Chamber week? That's insane. That is absolutely insane. So, if you're on the East Coast, make sure you set your alarms early. Elimination Chamber goes live at 5 a.m. Eastern Time on Peacock and WWE Network elsewhere. One last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here this week. Not only is Elimination Chamber this Saturday morning, but this Friday night, we have TNA No Surrender, their next upcoming pay-per-view on TNA+. And the card, it's pretty stacked. So we have a lot of rematches, a few rematches from Hard to Kill. We have Alex Shelley facing Moose for the TNA World Championship. We also have Jordan Grace, who was defending the Knockouts Championship against Ultimate X winner Giselle Shaw. The TNA World Tag Team titles are on the line in match 3 of the Best of 3 series between ABC and the Grizzled Young Veterans. I have watched GYV and WWE for some time, and they would always fight towards the mountaintop, but in every championship match they've had, they've never won. This is where I think everything could change. I am hoping that at No Surrender, GYV finally wins Tag Team Gold and they become the TNA Tag Team Champions. Now, and then the X Division title is on the line, and what is going to be a possible match of the year for TNA. You have the current champion Chris Sabin defending against Mustafa Ali. That on paper seems like one of the best matches, and I can't wait to see how that one goes down. Another rematch from Hard to Kill is the TNA Knockouts tag team titles, as the current champions Decay are defending their titles against MK Ultra, the team of Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich. Then we have 2 one-on-one matches set for No Surrender. We have Josh Alexander versus Simon Gotch, who showed up out of nowhere a couple weeks ago on Impact and ambushed Alexander. So, can't imagine what it's like when we see those two men go one-on-one. And then we also have PCO versus Khan. And that is just a lot of meat getting thrown around in that ring. No Surrender goes live on TNA Plus this Friday night at 8 o'clock, with the countdown to Hard to Kill going live at, I think, either 7 or 7:30 that evening. So, yeah. TNA No Surrender Friday night and Elimination Chamber Saturday morning. That's it for this week on Cinema Smackdown. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like and share the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get notified when new videos come out. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week.